Hello everyone. In this video, I share how I make a deep conditioning hair mask using the infused shea butter I showed in the previous video. I'll leave a link in the description if you haven't watched this video. You can prepare the infused shea butter the day before you make the hair mask. On the website, you will find the formulas and more information regarding the ingredients I used and their beneficial properties in hair products. I also give alternatives for some ingredients, so please check the post before making the hair mask. This shea butter is infused with horsetail. Horsetail can regulate excess oil production, and its high silica content contributes to the strength and elasticity of hair. So, it's the perfect ingredient in this deep conditioning hair mask. Okay, I start with the water phase, adding the distilled water to a heat resistance beaker. Now I'm adding the allantoin powder to the distilled water. The easiest way to dissolve the allantoin is in the heated water. I cover the water phase to minimize evaporation. You can also scale the water phase now and add the lost amount of distilled water after removing it from the heat. Moving on to the oil phase, I added the emulsifier, which is Olive M1000. This emulsifier has conditioning properties, so I like to use it in hair products. You have the written formula on the website with a calculator you can use to adjust the amount you want to make. Next, I added cetyl alcohol. The cetyl alcohol adds silkiness and emollient properties and contributes to a final thick consistency. Now, I added the Tego Amide S18, a conditioning agent that helps detangle the hair and controls static electricity in the hair. Check the post for alternatives. Tego Amide S18 need to be added to an emulsion with an acidic pH level in order to have a stable emulsion. You will see that in phase C, I use lactic acid and add phase C immediately once I form the emulsion to ensure the pH level is acidic. Now for the start ingredient, the infused shea butter. If you love creamy, moisturizing hair masks, you will love the benefits that this infused shea butter adds to a hair mask. The final product will have a very light greenish color due to the color of the infused butter. Next, I added coconut oil. This oil has hydrating and coating properties, which are essential in deep conditioning hair products. So now I place phases A and B into a double boiler on low-medium heat for about 20 minutes to melt and dissolve all the ingredients. While phases A and B are heating, I prepare phases C and D. In phase C, I combine panthenol with glycerin and lactic acid solution. Lactic acid has benefits in hair products, such as balancing the scalp's pH level. Here, it is also added to lower the pH level, to get a stable emulsion when using Tego Amide S18. I set aside phase C and continue to prepare phase D. In phase D, I added a fragrance oil and a preservative. I check phases A and B and stir them now and then until they are ready to be taken out of the heat. Once I took phases A and B from the heat, I combined them and immediately added phase C. The best way to combine the phases is to use an immersion blender or homogenizer. I used a high-speed blender but forgot to film it. After combining it with a high-speed blender, I moved to hand stirring. As I mentioned, I added phase C immediately so that the pH level would suit my chosen ingredients. I kept stirring and then I checked the pH level. Since I wanted a lower pH level, I added a few drops of lactic acid solution. I rechecked the pH level. You can keep this process until you reach the desired pH level. On the website, you have the information about the pH and how to adjust it. Before adding phase D, I checked the temperature. Some preservatives are temperature sensitive and need to be added at lower temperatures. Also, another thing to consider is that hair masks have acidic pH levels. You need to choose a preservative that can perform in these pH ranges. I chose a plastic jar container to store the hair mask. The final consistency will form after a few hours. It should be thick and very creamy. The best way to use this deep conditioning hair mask is to rub the mask, especially on the ends of the hair. Leave it for 3 to 5 minutes before rinsing. Is great for dry hair and you can use it instead of hair conditioner.